Hello, this is Alex Greenhill here, coming to you with a book review of Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip K. Dick. This is very different from the movie, but has the same basic plot of a bounty hunter going after 6 androids who can pass for human. And the only difference between us and them is that they are unable to pass an empathy test called the Voight-Kampff test, which basically determines empathy in humans and helps determine, I know this is redundant, but it helps determine whether or not you're human or not. And I would call this darker and probably a little bit more depressing than the Blade Runner movie, even with the final cut and director's cut. Deckard isn't a replicant, or android in this case, in this book. He's written as human, but he's a very, very gruff, like kind of Sam Spade type in this book. In fact, the book is written like a noir novel with hard-boiled prose, declarative sentences. It's very much a pastiche of noir fiction and hard-boiled detective fiction. Interestingly enough, a pastiche or homage to hard-boiled detective fiction and sci-fi, Ray Gun, directed by Brad Bird, recently had its first images released, and it's basically a hard-boiled detective story in the far future. But back to Blade Runner. This is a really, really strange book, even for Philip K. Dick, who was a very strange person. He did a lot of drugs, a lot of speed to get all of his novels done. He wrote, I think, about 44 novels, 120-something short stories. Most of them were written on speed or other amphetamines. He got clean and then wrote a book very, very much about his experiences in the throes of drug addiction in the form of To Scander Darkly. But back to the book. I keep on getting off topic because I love this author so much. The thing about Philip K. Dick is paranoia pervades all of his work. And this book is no different. There's a, much like in the Blade Runner movie, there is some doubt on whether or not one of the bounty hunters is an android. In fact, one of the other bounty hunters, they don't call them Blade Runners in the book, by the way. That's a made-up term that I think comes from William S. Burroughs, but that's another story. One of the bounty hunters actually asks desperately for a version of the Voight-Kampff test to determine whether or not he's human or not. And he does pass, but he does have sociopathic tendencies. So it's kind of like a tongue-in-cheek thing going, but also kind of creepy that they actually have sociopathic humans in this universe too, which is understandable. And there's also a whole religion around empathy, a kind of a precursor to virtual reality called the Empathy Box, where you experience the ascent to martyrdom, it feels like, where you're ascending with this saint-like figure called Wilbur Mercer, and things are thrown at you. And you basically feel the pain of having a rock thrown at you. It's a very, very strange book. It's not for everyone. It ends a little bit more anticlimactically than the movie does. And a little sad, more sadly. I don't want to spoil it, but it's kind of anticlimactic, as I've said. All in all, I would give this probably a 7 out of 10 because it's so influential and it's old, but it's also relevant to today's AI madness that we're seeing today. And there are some tech bros out there that are actually trying to bring humanoid robots onto the market, so Blade Runner or Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep may come sooner than we think. Thank you, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.